Picture this. It's late. You're in an office in Ukraine, June 27, 2017. Out of nowhere, a single computer screen flickers. It reboots, and then a chilling message pops up. And that one screen, well, that was just the very first tremor of a digital earthquake that was about to shake the entire planet. Oops, that's the message they saw. And it wasn't just on one computer. Soon, it was on thousands. At banks, in hospitals, at the biggest shipping companies in the world. This wasn't just some simple hack, you know? This was the beginning of a digital apocalypse, a totally new kind of weapon being unleashed on a global scale.
So let's get into what really went down that day. Because this wasn't just another cyber attack you read about in the news. No, this was a terrifying, real-time glimpse of what a full-blown cyber war actually looks like.
The speed was just stunning. It all kicked off in the morning, hitting businesses all across Ukraine. By lunchtime, the country's essential services were literally failing. ATMs, gas stations, you name it. And by the evening, it had jumped borders, paralyzing absolute giants like the shipping company Maersk and grinding global supply chains to a dead halt. And the price tag? $10 billion. And listen, that's the lowest possible estimate for the damage. It wasn't just disruptive, it was, and still is, the single most destructive and costly cyber attack in all of human history.
So the big question is, how did this even happen? I mean, the attack looked like ransomware. It was asking for money, but that was all a trick. This was something else entirely. It was a sophisticated weapon designed for just one thing: pure, total, unfiltered destruction.
Which brings us to the real mystery here. What was this invisible force? What in the world could bring an entire country to its knees and then spill out to cripple the globe in just a matter of hours? Well, the answer has a name. It's called a zero-day exploit. You can think of it as the ultimate ghost in the machine. It's an attack that uses a flaw in a piece of software, a flaw so secret that even the people who wrote the code have no idea it exists. They've had literally 0 days to fix it.
Let's make this super clear with an analogy. Okay, so imagine every piece of software we all depend on. Windows, the OS on your phone, is like a giant, heavily fortified digital castle. You know, it's got walls, gates, guards, the whole thing. A zero-day exploit? That's the hidden back door, the one that no one, not even the architects who designed the castle, knew was even there. It gives an attacker a guaranteed secret way right inside, letting them just waltz past all the defenses.
So, NotPetya was just a masterpiece of digital destruction. The attackers, a Russian military group called Sandworm, they got in by hijacking a software update for a popular Ukrainian tax program. Sneaky, right? Then, they unleashed a wiper, a program designed to destroy data, but they disguised it as ransomware. And here's the kicker. They used powerful cyber weapons stolen from the U.S. National Security Agency. These weren't just any old tools, these were digital skeleton keys. Things like Eternal Blue and Eternal Romance, which could spread like a virus all on their own, and another tool called Mimikatz, which literally yanks passwords right out of a computer's memory. It was this insane combination that let the attack spread like wildfire.
And that just begs a much bigger question, doesn't it? Where do these incredibly powerful weapons like Eternal Blue even come from? And how on earth do they end up in the hands of military hacking groups all over the world?
Well, it all starts with a discovery. A hacker finds one of those secret doors, but instead of telling anyone how to fix it, they sell it on a hidden market. From there, that little flaw gets turned into a full-blown weapon by a government or a criminal group, all ready to be deployed.
And you really have to understand the money behind all this. It's just wild. A hacker could sell a secret flaw to, say, Apple for maybe $1 million. That's the white market. Or they could sell that exact same secret door on the gray market to a government for over $20 million. The incentive to sell to the people who build weapons is just enormous. And then, in 2016, the entire game changed forever. A mysterious group called the Shadow Brokers stole a massive arsenal of the NSA's most powerful cyber weapons, including Eternal Blue, and they just dumped them online for free. All of a sudden, government-grade weapons were out there for anyone to grab, from North Korea to Russia's Sandworm.
And that event, the moment these digital weapons of mass disruption got out into the wild, well, it created an entirely new and invisible battlefield, and it has fundamentally changed the nature of modern conflict.
I mean, just look at how fast this escalated. In 2010, you have the Stuxnet worm, a single, very targeted weapon.
Fast forward to 2015, Russia is shutting down entire power grids. Then the shadow broker's leak happens, and just 1 year after that, those very same leaked tools are being used to cause total, indiscriminate global chaos with attacks like WannaCry and NotPetya.
You know, when the former head of both the CIA and the NSA, General Michael Hayden, first saw the Stuxnet attack, he said it had the whiff of August 1945. Think about that. August 1945 was when the atomic bomb was first used. He knew, right then and there, that the world had just crossed into a new and much scarier age of warfare.
And here's the core problem with this new era. These attacks are often deniable. It's really hard to prove who actually did it. This completely blurs the lines of conflict. It destabilizes all the traditional rules of war. And the consequences ripple out into our everyday lives. I mean, how do you deter an enemy you can't even see? How do you retaliate against a ghost that can shut down the ports that stock your grocery stores or the power grid that lights your home?
The story of NotPetya isn't really about a single piece of malware. It's a huge warning sign. It shows us that the battlefields of the future might not be places you can find on a map, but the invisible digital infrastructure that runs our entire world. And that leaves us with a really critical question for our time. In a world of invisible weapons and deniable attacks, what does peace even look like?